As Luke's face scrunches, Alex's worry deepens. A sudden heaviness settles over her. The sense of looming doom weighs upon her, raising all the hairs across her body. What did your dad say? She asks, trying to shake it all off. Not answering for a moment, Luke stares at his phone screen before dropping it back into his pocket. That's, odd, he says, pushing his glasses up his nose. My phone just completely cut him off. He asked me where I was, and then... Luke looks down at the floor, worried. Just static. Reaching for her own phone, Alex studies the screen before showing it to Luke. I've got no signal either. Strange. Yeah. Scratching the back of his head, Luke looks around. Everything seems normal. No one is panicking, and the sirens are far in the distance. Do you want to head back home? He asks, gently placing a hand on Alex's side. No. Alex shakes her head. Brushing the hair from her face, their eyes meet. I'm sure it's nothing, Luke says as his cheeks blush. Come on. Let's, go. Before Alex can reply, Luke sneezes. Then sneezes again. Damn, he growls, throwing his arms up in playful frustration. Maybe that's what my dad was trying to warn me about. There's gotta be an outbreak of cats, for sure. Yeah. Alex bites her bottom lip and looks away. Maybe. She then reaches up to the bumps on her head. Swollen, they are really starting to bother her. Not only that, but her tailbone still hurts. So, Alex looks up and softly smiles. Where are you taking me on our little date? Blushing, he points ahead. There's this cafe I like. Cool. Alex gives a warm smile. Would there be any way to buy painkillers near it? Probably. Luke then looks at the top of her head. Those are some pretty gnarly bumps. Are you sure you're okay? I'm fine, I promise. Alex forces herself to grab his hand. He's sweating, but she's just pleased he had the confidence to do so. Let's go to this cafe. I want to get to know you. Cool. Luke clutches her hand tightly. That's when he sneezes directly in her face. Gross! Alex recoils before beginning to chuckle. I don't want to get to know you like that, Luke. Sorry, he replies frantically and then looks away, embarrassed. It's this way. After some walking and a few sneezes, Alex and Luke sit face to face in a cozy little cafe. They found a spot by a large open window, looking out onto the street. Alex gently stirs her latte, trying to think of something to say. Despite holding his hand the whole way there, she suddenly feels a bit shy. So, how are you liking your new school? Luke asks, sipping on his espresso. New? Alex looks up a little confused. It's not new to me. How do you mean? She shifts uncomfortably in her seat. All schools are the same, aren't they? Just cliques and groups and all that. She takes a sip of her drink. I guess, if anything, I just wasn't expecting Marissa to dislike me so much. Queen Bee gets upset that there's another queen in town. Big shock. Luke sips his drink before reaching across the table to hold Alex's arm. Try not to let her bother you. I know who I'd rather spend time with. Huh, girls, Alex shrugs and rolls her eyes. So complicated. Mysterious creatures, aren't you? They are, Alex nods, forgetting herself. Luke's face lights up. He takes hold of her hand, making Alex look into his eyes. You're quite the strange... Screaming sirens stop him mid-sentence. They both stare out the window as several police cars scream down the road. Neither of them says anything as a smoke cloud rises above the buildings in the distance. A fire? Luke suggests, letting go of Alex's hand to reach for his phone. Maybe. Alex continues to gaze out the window. Still no signal, Luke says, sliding his phone back into his pocket and turning his attention back to the pretty girl sitting opposite. So, he reaches under his glasses to rub his itchy eyes. How about we play a game? A game? Alex smiles. I know a good one. Chat up lines. Whoever blushes first loses. Luke adjusts his glasses dramatically. and the loser's gotta do a forfeit. Deal? What kind of forfeit? Alex asks curiously, stirring her latte as she looks deep into his eyes. Luke gazes back at her, and a smile tugs at his lips. Truth, he says, then sneezes. Or dare. He laughs, wiping his nose. Okay. She grins wide, but her heart flutters nervously. You go first. Luke sits up straight before slowly leaning in with a smirk on his face. If I were arranging the alphabet... He pauses for dramatic effect. I'd put you and I together. Alex finishes the sentence with a dismissive flick of her hand. That's lame, dude. You aren't going to get me with that. Okay then, Luke chuckles before sneezing several times. Your turn. Excitedly, Alex sits up straight, brushes her hair from her eyes, and then narrows her gaze. If you were a fruit, she smiles wide, you'd be a fine apple. Luke laughs softly and sips his drink. Bet I'd be good on pizza, he adds with a cocky attitude. Would you partake in a slice? Ugh! Alex sticks out her tongue in disgust. Hawaiian pizza? No way! Well, that's awkward, Luke lightly chuckles. That's something we don't have in common. Your turn. She tilts her head to one side and grins. Make it a good one. Luke touches his chin in thought. Then, glancing out the window, he's surprised to see the smoke cloud appearing larger and closer than before. Not only that, but the streets appear deserted. Distracted, Luke points out the window. Dude, Alex says confidently, stirring her latte without even glancing where he points. Nice try, but you're not distracting me. It's your turn, and if you're out of chat-up lines, that makes me the winner. She takes a slow, victorious sip of her drink, eyes locked on his. And I'm definitely picking Dare. Not so fast, sweetheart, he replies, taking a sip of his drink, narrowing his gaze into a smiling stare. Is your name Google? 'Cause you've got all the things I've been searching for. They lock eyes, both wearing poker faces, until Alex suddenly sticks out her tongue and blows a raspberry. Mid, she laughs. Don't tell me you've used that one before. I haven't. Luke sneezes, not finishing his sentence. He grabs a napkin and wipes his nose. I'm really sorry, Alex. You must think I'm really lame with these allergies. Nah, I totally don't, she answers softly. I'm having fun. Who knew going on a date with another boy could be so much fun? Silence. Alex smiles brightly, completely unaware of what she just said, while Luke watches her with growing bemusement, his mouth slowly falling open. My turn, she grins, putting a finger to her chin in thought. You must be a dog person. Alex's grin gets wider. Because you look fetching. Expecting at least a smile, a chill runs down her spine as he just stares. Quick to assume she's got something in her hair or in her teeth, she frantically tries to sort herself out. She finds nothing. And yet he continues to stare. Still not saying anything, she goes bright red and looks down at her drink on the table. Did I say something wrong? Did you just refer to yourself as a boy? Luke asks with a whisper as he leans across the table towards her like it's top secret. No, Alex replies, blinking several times as she tries to understand where his question is coming from. What gives you that silly idea? Something you just said. Her eyes grow wider with fear. Silence. Alex? Luke puts a hand on hers. Is there something you want to tell me? We are all very confused about how Blake just up and left and you just happened to appear. Blushing furiously, Alex slowly lifts her gaze from her drink and meets Luke's eyes. She still has no idea what to say, so she just sits there, cheeks burning, locked in his stare, waiting for him to talk. You said another boy, Luke explains, which kinda suggests that you're a boy. He then sneezes several times, breaking the tension between them. I said that? Alex gasps, bringing a hand to her mouth. Yeah, Luke wipes his nose. Is it true? It's okay if it is. Alex bites her bottom lip. She then lowers her eyes to her lap and lets out a slow, heavy sigh. Do I look like a boy? She then opens out her arms for him to look at her body. Well? Luke glances away, deeply embarrassed by the situation. No. Silence, once again. Alex folds her arm and can't bring herself to even smile. The tension between them becomes unbearable. Luke opens his mouth to break the silence, but it's quickly interrupted by a commotion happening nearby. Ew! A voice of disgust cuts through the gentle calm of the cafe. What are you two weirdos doing here? Looking up from their table, their hearts sink as they watch Marissa stomp over to them with a sinister, toothy grin. Oh! Marissa laughs, glaring daggers at Alex. Trashy outfit for a trashy girl, she comments, then turning her attention to Luke. What are you two losers doing? With the cafe looking, Marissa leans in and rudely sticks one of her manicured fingers in Alex's latte. Are you two uglies on a date? Luke frowns and grits his teeth. Alex stays quiet and says nothing. The date is already growing awkward with Luke questioning Alex's gender, and Marissa only makes it worse, laughing as the two of them sit before her, too rattled to say a word. Oh! Nothing to say? Marissa flicks the coffee on her finger at Alex's face. Are you too high and mighty to talk to me now, skank? She says in spite. Marissa suddenly fists Alex's hair, wrenching her head back. She towers over her, eyes alight with fury, jaw clenched tight. Then, with a sudden twist of rage, she spits in Alex's face. You think you can make a fool out of me? She snarls, her voice low and trembling with fury. You've got no idea who you're messing with. Alex winces, blinking as spit runs down her cheeks. Her heart pounds. Marissa's grip tightens, nails biting into her scalp. Every instinct in Alex's body screams to fight back, but she forces herself to stay still, choosing restraint over reaction. Get off her, Marissa! Luke shouts, pushing back his chair as he stands to defend Alex. This is not okay behavior. With a cruel laugh, Marissa jerks Alex's hair back harder. But then, snap! Both she and Luke freeze, staring at the strange sight that's come loose on top of Alex's head, once hidden under her hair. Two soft blue fur-covered points spring out and sit proud upon her head like little mountains. Marissa stumbles back in shock, her face twisted in disbelief. Luke just stares, confused and wide-eyed. What the hell are those? Marissa shrieks, pointing with a trembling hand. You've got ears! Cat ears! On your head! You freak! Gasps ripple through the cafe. Luke can't move. Alex's shaking hands creep towards her head, her eyes darting in panic, her lips parting as if to speak, but nothing comes out. Her head doesn't hurt anymore, but she can feel something has grown. Marissa's glare, Luke's stare, shocked gasps, gossiping strangers, and loud blaring sirens just outside. Alex is instantly overwhelmed. Her instincts tell her to run, and run fast.
Thank you so very much for watching and making it all the way to the very end. If you've enjoyed the content, please consider supporting us on Patreon, where members get early access to all our content.